Hello, everybody, and well, everybody. Welcome to our Stepping Stone series. This is number one in a series of four that we're doing at the moment. And today we're going to talk about five things that you can do right now to help your body function better, to give your body a better environment in which to operate, to get better, to improve, and ultimately for you to feel better. So, we're recording this at the moment, so any chats that come up in the process, if anybody else joins us through the session, if you have any questions, pop them up in the chat box and we'll talk about them. And I'll just keep you posted and remind you through that if anybody else comes in as we're talking. So, as those of you that know me, I am a health and wellness professional and have been now for a long time, more than 18 years. And my private clinic is based in Tenerife in the Canary Islands, and prior to that I was based in Scotland, in North and South Lanarkshire, Scotland. I've been here for 9 years, and my clinic treats a wide range of health issues, fitness issues, and chronic pain issues. I am a sports therapist, but the range of clientele that comes through my door that help on a daily basis now is just hugely vast. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and as different as human beings are, we all have a basic set of requirements that our physiology needs as a human being. And so many people come to me on a daily basis, and I see literally thousands of people a year and have very similar conversations with them, which is why I decided to set up this series of webinars to try and get that information that I get one-to-one with people to more people. So the 5 things that you can do to make your body feel better right now. It's really simple, and you don't have to spend any money, and you don't need any special tools. You don't need to go to the gym. You don't need to go on a huge diet. All you need to do is sit down and think about it, and put some of the steps that we take that we're going to talk about now into action. Now, what I would recommend is that you grab yourself a piece of paper or something. Or if you're watching the recording of this, it's there for you to watch whenever you want. But jot some things down as we're talking and give yourself some reminders. The body is it's a biological thing. And whilst it can get sick, it can also get better. If you create the right environment for your body, it can improve itself. Without medication, without surgery, without adding anything extra in there, you can make it better simply by doing a few things yourself. So the first of those is drinking more water. Now, we're not talking fluids, we're talking that clear stuff that you can see through that's quite refreshing, and water. We're not talking juices, we're not talking tea, coffee, anything else that comes in a can, no, water. We'll come back to that. We're also going to talk about breathing. Now, so many people go, breathe? Of course I breathe. If I didn't breathe, I would die. But most of us don't breathe deeply enough. We're going to go into that in a bit of depth about how the lack of breath, how the lack of breathing affects the nervous system, how that then affects our stress, how it affects our flight and fight system, and digestive system and everything. So we'll come to that. After that, we're going to talk about how to be calm. Now, you probably hear so much in the media these days about meditation now, and how meditation is going to change the world. Couldn't agree more. However, so many people get caught up on the concept of meditation and go, oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't sit with for an hour or however long they think they need to meditate. So we're going to talk a little bit about meditation, the fallacies behind meditation, the myths about it, and what really meditation is and needs to be for you to make you do it, to bring some calmness and peace into your life. We're going to talk about clean food, and everyone's going to go, oh my God, she's going to tell me I can't eat crisps and rubbish. And yeah, but little things. Let's talk about some little changes that you can make. And those of you who know at the moment, Annika's on the call with me, and she's my sugar coach at the moment. She's helping me cut out my sugar, my nasty bug. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about food a little bit. And lastly, but not finally, we're going to talk about movement. Now, so many people over the years get scared and run because they think, oh God, here comes Judith with a boot camp, or here come students with their interval training, or here come students with their MetaFit, or a spinning, or a lifting weights, and all the other things that you know I'm going to make you do eventually when you come and see me on a one-to-one. However, movement on a health basis for making your body better, to improve your wellness, to improve your state of mind, is simply moving. It's not about doing anything energetic, it's just about moving. And we're not talking about moving, running, we're talking about moving your wrists, we're talking about moving your shoulders. So we're going to come to that as well. So they're the 5 things that, as you can see, there's nothing there that you have to run out and buy any equipment or do anything. The things that you can start to change right now. And as we talk, I'm going to give you some ideas and tips of how you can help make those changes on a day-to-day basis over the next 5 to 7 days, so that you can start to feel real changes in your body. Okay, so let's go back to water. Now, they say that the average human being can be made up, your entire body is made up of anywhere between 50 and 75% water. Okay, so if you think about your entire body, and we can say that maybe from your feet up to about your chest is water, and the rest is bones and various other bits and pieces. What that means is that we need to keep our bodies between 50 and 75% hydrated. Now, the scientific evidence has shown that for every 23 kilos of body weight, you must drink 1 litre of water. Okay? So let's really roughly round that down and say if you are a 60 kilo average female, you need to drink 3 litres of water a day. Now, I need to drink slightly more than 3 litres of water a day. If you weigh 80 kilos, you need to drink almost 4 litres of water a day. Okay, so this is the kind of water we're talking about. Now, the government and the advertising companies have done, or the advertising agencies have done a very good job in saying 8 glasses of water a day. It's fantastic because it makes people drink water, but people still aren't drinking enough. Now, you can drink too much water. I've had conversations with people about this before as well, but the majority of the population are not drinking enough water. Now, what that means, and even the GPs don't talk to you about this, but this means, you know, if your body is dehydrated, your high blood pressure could be down to the fact that your blood vessels are dehydrated. Therefore, the channels narrow and your blood struggles to get through. That's high blood pressure. That's why the heart has to pump harder, has to increase all the levels in the body, and therefore you end up with high blood pressure. But if you drink more water, you hydrate your body better, your body's going to be in a better environment, your blood vessels will be in better condition to allow the blood to come through your body properly. Therefore, things like chronic high blood pressure, high cholesterol, you know, you can go, no, I don't know why, I've got high cholesterol, I eat everything properly. You could be chronically dehydrated. Also, things like, you know, being overweight. The most common known thing, when I say common known, is that if you don't drink enough water, the body reserves water stores, which means that you can hold a high percentage of water in the body. What that means is that your body's kind of like, oh, she's not giving me anything to drink, so I better store some. And it doesn't let it go. So you have water, and I'm going to say stagnant water, just to give you an idea, stored in your body. So that water stays there, and you continue not giving it enough fluid, so it retains more water, and it retains more water, and it retains more water. So one of the very common side effects of drinking more water again is that you start to lose weight. Usually around about a week after you started, the body will start to regulate itself and will realise that you're putting enough new fluids in there and that it can get rid of the old stuff and it'll start to clear out the excess of water that's holding. So they're just a couple of things that we've talked about. But I want to give you an idea of, if you think about if our bodies are made up 50 to 75% water, our water stores need to get through to our skin. It needs to get down to a very cellular level. So if our cells are dehydrated, then everything in our body is going to be affected. So if our skin is dehydrated, we're going to get more wrinkles. If our skin is dehydrated, not only will we have more wrinkles, but it means the blood supply is not getting to there, which means the muscles directly in contact with that surface, the lymphatic drainage systems underneath, all of the systems of the body require water to function properly, or they will dry up. If you imagine, and I should have had one for this, if you imagine a well-hydrated body being like a grape and a dehydrated body being like a raisin. Now, that's going down to a cellular level. So if your body is dehydrated, how can the blood get through the veins? how can the heart pump the blood effectively? The blood needs water to be thinner, therefore your blood's sticky, it's harder to get pumped around. So you're already narrowing veins from dehydration or struggling to get the fluid around the body to get it to your brain, to get it to your eyes, to get it to your organs, to get it to your muscles, to get it everywhere through your body. So your body's thirsty. The really common thing people will say is, but I can't because I do nothing but pee. Sometimes you just need to go with the flow. And it's a case of your body's so accustomed to being in a stasis of chronic dehydration that you don't even realize. You don't realize it. You don't realize that how often you should go to the toilet. So the first few times, the first few days, you'll be drinking, go to the toilet, drinking, go to the toilet. A lot of people just go, I can't do that. Sometimes, depending on your lifestyle, you need to just think, well, what can I do? I need to change this. I know for my health and for my well-being, I need to drink more water. So what can I do over the next few days to accommodate the fact that I'm going to be increasing my water intake? For example, if you are a traveling salesperson and you already have your stops through the day of where you will stop to go to the toilet, and you're saying, oh, I can't do that because I can't do it, then just think about the best ways you can do it. Increase your water intake gradually. Don't start from today from drinking 0 water to drinking 4 liters tomorrow, because you're just going to be peeing all over the place. So how we're going to do this is we're going to think about the fact that whatever your current level is of your water intake, what I'd like you to do if you can is see if you can get an idea of how much you weigh, first of all. And if that's not an issue, if that's not a possibility just now, then what I want you to do is I want you to aim to drink a minimum of 2 litres a day. Okay? Now, I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm saying that within the next 2 weeks, I would like you to drink 2 litres. So what that's going to do is tomorrow, I'd like you to drink 2 more glasses than you would normally drink. The day after, 2 more glasses on top of that, so 4 glasses more. And each day you're going to add an extra couple of glasses in until, depending on whichever level you're at the moment, you start to drink 2 litres a day. I would be very surprised if you come back and don't tell me that you see a difference in your body. I personally know how my brain functions, how tired I am, how well I sleep, how much energy I have, how my skin is. There's a whole load of things that I know now how I feel when I drink enough water and when I don't drink enough water. So that's your challenge for your water. Any questions on that whatsoever, please ask me. That's what I'm here for. Before we finish with that one, I'm going to give you a good story. I don't know if my dad's ever going to watch this, but we'll see. My father came to visit me, and he was a marathon runner. And when he came to see me in March, I haven't seen him for 5 years. And he was in agony with his knees, but of course he didn't want to say too much about his knees. And my father came to me and he says, I said, how much water are you drinking? Here we go. And he says, water. Oh, he's a Scouser, by the way, my dad. Those of you that will understand. This water thing is a scam. It's these bottled water companies, all they want is your money. It's drinking water is a load of rubbish. And I said, okay. At which point you have to decide whether you're going to fight your battle or not. So at this point, I said, okay, no problem. Just left it. When we got home later that day, I said, I've got a book for you. I'm going to get it out. And I gave him this, which is back to front. So it's called Your Body's Many Cries for Water. And it's by a Dr. Batman. I can't say the rest of his name, but he's called Dr. Batman. I gave him the book. And along with his sore knees, he had various other problems going on. And my dad's 74, 75. And he went that night and he had trouble sleeping anyway, so he read the book. When he woke up in the morning, my mum said he hasn't let the bottle of water out of his hand since he got out of bed. And he continued to drink water. And he continued to drink water for the rest of the holiday. His knees got better, his face looked better, he looked younger. And he said to me, Jude, I can't believe how much better I feel just by drinking water. Now he's 74, 75. He noticed the difference in his joints, his energy, his sleep patterns, everything improved. So it is that important. Please do it. So that was my little anecdote about my father. Okay, so let's move on to breathing. What I want you to do right now is stop wherever you are, if you can, unless of course you're in a position where you can't do anything because people are going to look at you strangely. But I'd like you to, if I say to you just now, take a deep breath in. Okay, so take a really good deep breath in. And just notice, where does the air go to? So which part of your body rises? Okay, so take another one in for me. Okay, now many people when they breathe, only their chest rises. What we're looking for a proper true deep breath is to breathe down into your belly, okay? So what I'm going to get you to do is put one hand on your chest and one hand onto your belly. This time as you breathe in, I want your belly to rise. So imagine you've got two tubes coming down and you're breathing in. And as you're coming all the way down, it's filling up the two huge big balloons that you've got as your lungs. And the big balloons are going to fill in and blow out down into your belly. So your belly should rise. Okay, so let's do that again. Good deep breath in. And out. Okay, one more time. Breathe in it. Annika sending me messages while she's breathing. Yeah, when you breathe consciously, it gets down. Absolutely. Think about that. So many of us go through our day on autopilot. And when somebody says to you, take a deep breath in, it'll be a, that's not a deep breath. That's lifting your shoulders. Okay? So be aware. That's the first thing I want to say to you. Be aware. If your shoulders rise when you breathe in, you're not breathing properly. You're not using your diaphragm. The whole breath thing can be another part of the story itself, but this is one of the things that we need to do. We need to breathe consciously into the belly. Now, to do that, one of the good ways is to put your hands onto your tummy and press into your tummy when you breathe to give you like a bit of biofeedback there so that your brain feels, hang on a minute, something's happening. Wrap a scarf around your midsection, so just underneath your rib cage. All of those things help. If you go to a Pilates class, quite often they'll put an elastic band around your rib cage so that you can breathe into the band. Really, your hands on your belly and breathe into them. Stop and take a deep breath in. Now I'm going to teach you a wee trick here. We're going to do a breathing exercise and we're going to count, okay? So I'm going to breathe with you. You put your hands onto your belly, so just underneath your ribcage. You're going to take a deep breath in as I count to 7. Then you're going to hold your breath, okay, until I say go. When I say go, I want you to let it out until you've got no more breath left in your body, okay? So we're going to take a deep breath in. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and hold, 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 and very slowly and gently let it out. But you're going to completely exhale. Take it all out of your lungs. Blow it, blow it, blow it. Hey, Catherine.
Hi.
Hey, I'm going to mute you if I can. Okay, so we're breathing. So let's go again. So I'm going to get you to take a really deep breath in through your mouth. Let it come in. We're going in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and hold, 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 and a really good steady breath out. Let all of that breath out of your lungs. Let it go. Catherine, can you mute yourself? I can't find how to do it. Thanks, Alan. Okay, so that's how to get a deep breath in, and we're going to hold it. Now, the reason to breathe in, why do we want to breathe? As the body functions, one of the main issues that I find with people is they get really, really tight here. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. They get really, really tight here underneath the rib cage. Now, sometimes if you really struggle to get into your lungs and breathe deep, you want to do a bit of massage down here into the edge of your rib cage and underneath. We want to push up so that we're massaging the edge of the diaphragm. Now, as we do that, we're going to stimulate the blood flow into the area, the same as we would with any massage. But really, it's about letting the diaphragm know that we want it to work. Okay. Now, what happens with the diaphragm is, as it comes up like a mushroom, it comes up the inside of your chest cavity, and it comes down as you breathe in, and it comes back up again. Okay. So this is a muscle. The diaphragm is a muscle. Now, through the diaphragm, as the diaphragm comes down, we're stretching it out, stretching it out, stretching it out to allow as much breath into your lungs as you possibly can, because the lungs are inside here. And as we stretch the diaphragm out, we allow the organs and tubes that pass through that, which you've got the aorta, but you've also got a big thing there called the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is hugely important in things like arthritis, amongst other things in the body. But the vagus nerve, if the vagus nerve is compressed, then it can make us feel anxious, depressed. We're not really sure. It puts us into fight or flight mode. So this is what I was saying to you before at the beginning about how just something as simple as breathing better can allow your nervous system to calm down. Because the way our body functions, if you're tight through your diaphragm and you're not breathing deeply enough, the vagus nerve contracted and the body says, what's happening? What's going on? So some people will say to me, I'm not stressed, but I just can't relax. And I'll say, come on, let's do some breathing. And they are one of these people who go, you take a deep breath in. So we're going to practice the deep breathing. So what I'd like you to do is a tool to do that. We did a really quick exercise because obviously today, we've got another 3 things to talk about. But with regards to the breathing, the way I would suggest you look at doing it is to maybe put alarms on your phone. So if you were to put alarms on your phone over 3, 4, 5 times a day and do 5 breaths each time. And each time you do your breathing exercise, each of your 5 breaths, I want you to take a deep breath in for a count of 7. You're going to hold for a count of 4. And you're going to breathe out for a count of 7. Okay, so we're getting all of the toxins out of the system, we're letting everything come out of the lungs. So that, apart from allowing the vagus nerve to relax, it's also going to bring in new fresh oxygen. Now that fresh oxygen gets into your blood, that gets into the system, that gets into your muscles, it gets into your brain. You're taking all this fresh air into your body and allowing the body to be better oxygenated. That in itself is going to make you look, feel, and generally act better than before. Again, it's all about creating a better environment for your body to function in. So that's our breathing. With the breath, we're going to go on to the meditation. Like I said at the start, so many people go, oh my God, meditation, I can't do that. I remember 25 years ago trying yoga, and I got a really spiritual yoga teacher, and I was like, dude, I can't do this whole thing. Give me the things where I feel like I'm actually moving my body and I'm getting raw with it. But if you ask me to chill out and zone and go into I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't. So it put me off yoga for quite a long time until I found another teacher and I could actually do the physical side of it without having to think too much about the spiritual at that point in my life. But I now know better. But I know that there's many people who I speak to and I'll say, do you do any meditation? They go, what, me? Meditate? I wouldn't even know where to start. I can't sit still for 5 minutes, never mind 20. So one of the challenges that I have with people is to say to them, okay, let's not call it meditation. And a client of mine the other day, we were walking out of the clinic and he's quite highly strung. He was quite relaxed by the time we came out. And I said to him, okay, Angel, I want you to walk 10 paces. 10 paces is going to take you more or less to that wall. As you walk, all I want you to do is look down and focus on your feet as you walk, each step that you take. And with each step, I want you to take just a normal, steady breath. Okay? Okay. Seems simple enough? Okay. So Angel left me and took 10 paces. And I think he got to the wall in 9 paces. But looking at his feet and taking a breath at every step. And he got there and he stopped and he went, okay. And I said, how do you feel? He went, really relaxed. And I said, okay, cool. Why would that be? And he said, because I switched off from everything else and all I thought about was my feet and my breathing. So effectively, Angel was meditating. Even though I'd spoken to him just before about meditating and that's something I could never do. I couldn't do that, but he'd just done 9 steps, meditating and breathing. We're talking maybe 30 seconds, but he still did it. It still allowed his body, his brain, his nervous system to switch off to a certain level to allow him to give just a small amount of stillness. And there's some people who have so much frenetic activity in their lives that they don't have that opportunity to stop. We also talk another example I like for so many of us that wash dishes. Now, iron clothes. It's about being present in that exact moment. If you say, wow, I've got the dishes to wash. I've got some warm water, I've got some soap with bubbles. Bubbles are awesome, I love bubbles. And I've got 30 plates. And if you focus on the feel of the water, the bubbles, the dirt on the plates, cleaning them, how clean you can get them, and just present yourself in that moment, what's in front of you, and breathe, you're meditating. You're meditating on what's in front of you. It's about being present in the moment in everything that you do, being present in the moment and being hypnotized by the things in that disorder, in that environment that you're at that precise moment in time is enough of a meditation to help you switch down just a few gears. And like I say, the more frenetic you are, the more you've got in your life, the more you need to meditate. But they are the people, I know, because I was one of them, who will argue till they are blue in the face that they can't do it. So let's change the mindset a little bit and say, okay, well, I'm not going to go and try and do a half-hour recorded meditation. I'm going to maybe do 5 minutes. or I'm just going to do it when I wash the dishes or when I clean my teeth. You know, it doesn't have to involve anybody else. It can just be short moments in the day when you start to think about it. So what I'd like you to do is, in your journal or on your piece of paper, I want you just to brainstorm 5 times during your day that you can use that. So be it wash the dishes, iron, take the dog for a walk, clean your teeth, a routine to pack your bag in the morning, a routine to get your clothes ready before you go to work the next day, the night before you go to bed. You choose 5 times during your day. But during those 5 times during the day, you can actually say, okay, now I'm in this. Nobody can call me. I'm not going to be interrupted by anything. I'm not going to think about what we're eating for dinner tomorrow. I'm not going to think about the acid that I've got in my stomach just now for what I've just eaten. All you're going to do is think about what you're doing. And with every movement in your face, you're going to take a breath. Seem fair enough? So this is what I want you to do. Little things, little changes that I want you to make over the next few days. So really that's for the meditation. On the people who go, well, I can do that, I'm cool, I can go down the next route. YouTube now has huge amounts of information, huge amounts of pre-recorded guided meditations and just nice music to meditate to. So light a candle, have a search on YouTube if you're feeling anxious, you're feeling depressed, you've broken up from your boyfriend, you've got pain in your body, do a search. Sometimes you'll get one and you'll go, this voice and music are really annoying and I just can't switch off. That happens. But search through them, have a flick through, and you can get anything from 5, 7, 13, 20 minutes, an hour and a half to 9-hour-long recordings that you can have playing all night while you sleep. So I would urge you to have a little look into that. If that's something that you would like to develop a little bit more, play around with it. But don't have that chip in your head that you can't meditate, because it is as simple as that, stopping and just turning a page of a book and breathing with each page that you turn. So that's number 3. That's our part on being a little bit calmer. And it's not just about, because it's a buzz thing at the moment with the meditation, it does have huge connotations on the body. Just breathing deeply and allowing the body to calm and bring yourself into that moment. The nervous system can calm down, and it has a huge effect on musculoskeletal, on the blood circulation in your body, on the fight or flight syndrome, and generally creates a better environment for you to be better and healthier in yourself. So now onto the clean food. So clean food. The cleanest food that you can have is something that you make from scratch in your kitchen. Now, I'm not talking about you must go and buy organic. I'm not going and saying that you have to have everything fresh from the farm. No, you just need to not invest in packets and microwave meals and blah, blah, blah. Now, me personally, I haven't had a microwave in my home for 16 years. 16, 17 years. And if I go somewhere and they say, would you like me to warm it up for you? I say no, because I know they're going to whack it in the microwave and I'm not interested in having a microwave food. Again, that's another seminar completely about microwave food. But we became a culture where we want everything quick, because everything's got so fast. We get home from work and we've got to eat, so we eat because we have to. Yeah, Annika, absolutely. The difference it makes the taste is phenomenal. It basically fries your food. It's like having nuclear radiation poured into your food. It's no longer even food. It's just this. So microwaves for me are a no-no. But taking basic ingredients and putting them together, it really doesn't take that long. Now, I did a series many years ago now, probably about 9 years ago when I first came here to the island. And because that... no microwave. No, I'm not just saying no microwave, Catherine. I'm saying microwaves I wouldn't touch anymore. I would never put anything in a microwave. My children have never been given anything from a microwave. If you want to, actually, I'll see if I've still got the document, but I've got an amazing document about microwave radiation poisoning and the problems that come in the body about it. So let me know if you want to, and I'll email it to you later. But I'm just talking about eating as fresh as possible. Don't have anything out of a packet. If you pick something up that's dried, and we're not talking about fruit necessarily here, we're talking about dried packet sauces and things which people are so fond of. If it's dried, that means it's had all of the hydration drained out of it. It's been through a process to be dried and powdered in that form. Therefore, it's not real food anymore. If you are, and especially here in Tenerife, if you go to the supermarket and you buy milk off the shelf and you take it home, you put it in the fridge, but it doesn't need to be in the fridge to stay fresh. It's not real food. It's been so processed and pasteurized that it's a white substance of a liquid form that tastes like milk, but it's no longer a real food. If we look at the packet sources, now this has been really interesting for me because I've been doing my sugar-free. Now, although those of you that know me that a long time know that I've been there and done that before, I've been really struggling in the recent years to kind of change my habits back to being a bit better again due to lots of stress going on in life. But the jars that we buy in the supermarket, not only are they full of various key numbers and additives to help stabilize and prolong the life of the product on the shelf, they're also full of sugar. Sugar that if you cook, maybe when I'm cooking a chili, I'll put some brown sugar in. When I'm cooking maybe bolognese, I'll put some brown sugar in, a small amount. But, we don't stick tons of white sugar in our food as we cook it, natural food. So it's about trying to get back to as natural as possible. And so many people will say to me, but I just don't like vegetables. And I'll say, okay, but what's your general food? And they'll maybe eat crisps and they'll eat this and they'll eat that. The majority of the food that they currently eat is overloaded with additives, preservatives and flavors. So what happens when you eat them is you eat them and they are manufactured to give your taste buds a complete overload. So your body goes, wow, so you want more. So what we do is we say, right, we're going to start to cut those things out. And I know because this has happened to me, as you start to cut out those additives and, hey, Lisa, I can't see you, but you've just popped up. We're just onto the food section and we've recorded so you can watch all of this later. As we get onto as we start to cut out those foods, our taste buds start to get their natural process back again. So I remember distinctly going on a detox and afterwards tasting cauliflower for the first time and being like, oh my God, this tastes like cauliflower, like when I was a baby, when I was a girl. Because that was like my favorite food when I was a child, cauliflower, cheese with bacon. Wow. And I remember having a detox and a clean up of 10 days. And then when I had cauliflower again, I could taste the flavor of the cauliflower in my mouth. And it was so poignant in that moment that I've never forgotten the difference that my taste buds do, what they received at the time. And I'm going through that again at the moment. And my diet generally isn't too bad. I mean, we did with Annika the other day, we did a split. We had to put our shopping up on the counter and we had to take a picture of what was processed foods and what was non-processed foods. And mine generally was about a 70-30 split. But what it did make me very aware of here, which I kind of started to ignore a bit, was here in Tenerife, you can't buy yogurt without sugar. It doesn't exist. Milk has got sugar in it. My children were eating far too many magdalenas and croissants and things that came in a packet just quickly to chuck in for the almuerzo or the snack in school or whatever. And that was just a bit of a moment for me. So whilst I realise that I do generally eat pretty healthily and I don't tend to use a packet, I had started to go, oh, that sauce looks quite nice. It's tomato. I'll get it. I'll see how it is. And the things that I was starting to allow myself to bring back into the kitchen again actually had crap loads of stuff in them that I didn't need to eat in my diet. So what I'm saying is that one thing that's that always sticks in my mind, and hopefully it'll stick in yours too, if a food has got additives in it to preserve the life of the food, okay? So it's there to stop it from going rotten on the shelf. And if you're going to put that into your food and you're going to ingest it, what's it going to do inside your body? Right? So, okay, let me see. Lisa, can you press mute?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you press mute on your screen? Should be down on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Hey, thank you. Okay, cool. Where was I? Talking about clean food. So if you think about it, if there's additives in food and you're putting them into your body, what's that actually doing to the inside of your body? And like I say, that's something that's always stuck with me. So it's something that I want you to try and think of. So we're talking fresh food. It's not rocket science. Fresh food, fresh vegetables. If you want to make up a tomato sauce, whap a pile of tomatoes into the blender or chop them up as small as you can, stick a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of brown sugar if you really need to, and you've got a tomato sauce. You know, you've got a base there for whatever tomato that you're cooking. What I do with my kids is Lidl's the best shop ever, and Lidl had one of these electronic, ¿cómo se llama? Grating machines. So you've got different type of grating options that you can do on it. So I bought one of them. So everything gets grated now, and I'll put like 5 vegetables into a tomato sauce that my kids have with pasta or with tuna or whatever. They don't even know what's in it. It's awesome because it just all cooks down. So the clean food, yeah, and it's about, you need to remember that everything you put into your body goes down to cell level. So it gets to your skin, it gets to your cells, it gets it through your arteries. And so many people also who come to me who have allergies in their skin, a lot of it comes from what they're putting into the body. Now, I personally, and this is one of the reasons why I did the sugar, I'm doing the sugar clean out with Annika, is because I itch. I used to think that it was an allergy to, I started thinking it was peanuts, then I thought it was almonds. Sometimes I think it depends on the mescla, the mix of the products that I put maybe in a smoothie. But really recently, I've just thought, you know what, it's not, it's sugar. So I know that the sugar comes out in my skin. My 5-year-old, I've recently discovered, we bought some, he has Avena oats in the morning that he likes. And he likes to have a mixture of cereals with it. So it's got, a mix of oats and raisins and seeds and various other things. So you go, oh, that's really healthy. I'm going to give it to my child. But what we discovered was he started coming out in a really bad rash on the back of his knees, similar to what he had when he was a baby and he was on formula milk. So I've started cutting the cereals out, which in theory are healthy, and the rash on the back of his knees has gone away. So there's, looking at the packet, there was additives and preservatives in the very healthy cereals that I was giving to my child. Obviously, those additives and preservatives didn't like my child's body very much. So yeah, just try and be a little bit more aware. If it comes in a packet, it's dried, it's got a long shelf life, it's got something in it to help it be like that. So just try and cut back and keep everything as fresh as possible. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the movement. Now, I said before at the start, most people, when I say to them movement, they run because they think, oh, she's going to get me to do 20 burpees, or she's going to have me do 50 press-ups, or I'm going to have to go run up some stairs or swing some kettlebells around. But really, from a wellness perspective, I just want people to start moving more. I mean, people will come to me and I'll say, okay, what kind of physical activity do you do? And they'll say, oh, I walk a lot. And I'll say, okay, in which direction? And they'll say, forward. And I'll go, okay, what else do you do? Oh, well, I wish. Okay. So you get in and out of the chair. Yeah. In what direction is that? Forward. I'm getting up out of the chair, forward. And when you start to say to people, okay, but what do you do sideways? And they'll go, what do you mean? Well, when you're in the car, yeah? When you get in and out the car, you're getting in and out sideways, yeah? Yeah. Do you always drive? Yeah. So you're only ever getting in and out of the car on one side. And people start to kind of go, okay. When you're at work, you use a mouse with your right hand. When you're doing something else, you've maybe got your phone in your left hand. So you start to see to people that the patterns that they're starting to start to emerge in their bodies. A really common one for us women, we know that if we've got kids, we tend to put them on one side or the other. So we tend to carry our kids on a hip. And I had one girl today who, she's just had a second baby who's 4 months old. And she came to me going, my neck's killing me. And I said, okay. And I said, okay, what else? And she said, yeah, but it's my neck. And I was like, yeah, okay. But think about a few weeks earlier, what happened, blah, 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 blah. And it transpires that she holds the baby like this. And this is what she showed me. She showed me tipping her neck to the side. And as she did it, she went, ow. And it was like, yeah, it's how you hold your baby. So, we all have movement patterns that we do on a repeated day in, day out basis. Like, I sleep on the same side of the bed all the time. So every morning I get to bed on the same side. So that side of my body is more predisposed to do it. So what I'm trying to get people to do more and more and more, my clients that come to me many, many years now, is just say to them, I need you to move your body regardless if you're doing something else. So that can be something as simple as, moving your fingers. I need you to move your fingers. And some people come to me and they don't even realise how stiff their hands are. They don't realise how compressed their joints are. Now, as a sports therapist, I can have clients come to me these days and we'll do an assessment. And as I'm working on them, I'll work on their arms, and they'll go, but it's my shoulder that's sore. And I'll say, okay. I'll come up, I'll show them the shoulder, show them how it hurts, and I'll say, I'm just going to go back down your arm, okay? Trust me. And I'll work on their wrists. I'll loosen the wrists. They'll get some really good cracks. We'll work on their forearms. We'll loosen all the tension off. Then I'll come back up to their shoulders, and they'll be like, wow, all the tension in my shoulders is gone. That means the shoulders weren't holding, the shoulders weren't the cause of the tension. What was happening was the wrists. What was happening was the forearm. It's these that we use much more in everyday life. These get tight, and when they start to get tight, the brain then sends compensation patterns through the body. So what we want people to start doing is, people will go to the gym and they'll do a warm-up. They'll run on the treadmill, they'll get on the bike, they'll go on a cross-trainer. But we want mobility. Now, mobility is about getting the joints moving more. Now, you've got joints from the tip of your fingers to the tips of your toes. And what we need to improve our mobility is to move all of those joints. Now, for the whole body, the mobility of the foot is one of the most important things that you can focus on. Because if you don't have mobility in your feet, what happens is, as we walk, we don't get the shock absorption that we need through the feet, and the shock then comes up through the body. If our feet aren't flexible, we don't have the sensory feedback through our feet that comes through into the brain that allows us to function properly. So, to say to you that our body functions as a chain. So let's say, for example, that we have our big toe, and our big toe is an on button, okay? So as we walk, every time the big toe hits the floor, it presses an on button to the brain, and the brain says, oh, okay, team, let's go. And we click in muscles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right through the body so that you can make the action happen, okay? Now, if our feet are super inflexible and tight, and we can't quite get the right leverage through that big toe that we need, what happens as we walk is the switch can get missed. So we don't get that on switch in the brain to say, this is the action we're doing. Therefore, what happens is the brain goes, oh, we're walking, 7, 12, 3, 9, and all the muscles will be recruited in the wrong order, which is why people end up with dysfunctions, movement patterns that are wrong, and ultimately bad posture, which can lead to many other health issues. So, bringing it back to specific movements, I want you to think about your feet to begin with. So think about the feet. You know, the feet typically have got the same anatomy, if you like, as the hands. They've got more skin because they're web longer, but your ankles should be able to do a full 360 degrees. You should be able to move your ankles up and down. You should be able to get full mobility in ankles. So assess that and see, you know, actually my ankles are a little bit tight. My left one's tighter than my right one. And just see how you move, and start to move your ankles every single day. Every single day. So again, this is another thing that I want you to do. Sit down and think, do you know what, when's the best time of day for me to do this? And set an alarm on your phone and say, at this time, I'm going to move my ankles. I'm going to point my feet, point and go flex. I'm going to circle them around one way. I'm going to circle them around the other way. And I'm going to do this with my feet. Okay? I'll show you. Hang on. So, we are here. We are here. And we're going to point and flex, point and flex. Okay? Hey, I think I'm getting first off. Go, girl. Now, if you feel that your feet are quite tight, and a really good way of doing it is get a tennis ball or a golf ball. If you're really brave, use a golf ball. If you're not so brave, stick with the tennis ball. Tennis ball underneath your foot, and use the tennis ball to massage into the base of your foot. Catherine, you're telling me that you love it now, but when you're screaming in pain because the golf ball or the tennis ball saw you become cabrona. So work on the tennis ball to loosen up your feet. Just doing that with your feet is going to increase mobility in the rest of your body, and I see it with clients on a daily basis. So tennis ball under your foot, assess your mobility, and work on your ankle mobility every day. That's what I want you to do over the next week to 2 weeks. And then gradually just think about your movement patterns and be aware of, actually, do you know what, I only ever move forward. If you're going to the gym or if you've got space at home, walk backwards. Okay, so I want you to walk forwards, and then I want you to walk backwards. You won't be able to walk anywhere near as fast backwards as you can forwards, and you'll feel disorientated because your brain doesn't know what it wants you to do. I want you to walk sideways. I want you to take the steps. So the things that you see them doing. And these are all patterns that I use a lot with my older clients as well, to keep them mobile so that their brain knows what to do when they find themselves in that position. Okay, so most of us at the moment are young enough that we say, you know, I fall over, I'll get up, it's not a problem. But if we don't do these exercises now and we don't maintain them through life, there'll come to a time in life where we'll fall to the left and our body won't know what to do anymore because we've never moved to the left in years. Our body needs to have that, the brain patterns there for the movement to know what to do. So movement's so important. So just getting the wrists moving, getting the elbows moving. You know, we say, oh, we'll go to the gym, I'm going to do this. And people think that's a warm-up. What's this? I have to head. Okay. Thanks, Ellen. I'll see you soon. Bye, Annika. So yeah, about mobility, about getting your body working, about getting the neck mobile, and about moving all of the things in your body that you maybe wouldn't do on a day-to-day basis to keep you a bit healthier. So movement. Again, most of the things that we've talked on today, I've talked about maybe doing another webinar later on. So if there's something that you think, you know, I want to go into more detail, then tell me about it. Over the next few weeks, what we're going to be looking at is simple mobility to get your mojo back. So that's going to be our next session. And what I'm going to do is really cover, like I said, you know, from wrist through, and we're going to do some practical stuff online with the camera. And I'm going to show you some mobility exercises just to keep you thinking, hey, she's moving her ankles, good girl. I'm going to fall off my ball if I move both of mine together because I'm touching the ball at the moment, look. So I shan't move both of my ankles at the same time. But we're going to do a mobility session next time, and a lot of it is based on the flow of the body and how you want to get the shoulders, the elbows, our fingers, our hands, everything moving. After that, we're going to talk about how to find peace in a busy life. So that's going to cover again a little bit more about what we spoke about with the meditation today, and just how to get a little bit more calm, and how to bring yourself down a little bit and get yourself some personal space in what typically for most of us is uber busy life. And then we're going to also talk about how to ease pain in the body through releasing emotions. We spoke before about the nervous system, the vagus nerve, about not breathing properly. And what we tend to find is that the body's got memory, so we store emotions inside our body. And, you know, having been a physical therapist now for 17 years, I see it day in, day out. I see so many people with the emotional baggage that they have, and I know when that's affecting their chronic pain issues. And it's brought me to a point where I have no choice but to deal with that with people. Otherwise, there's no way of them ever getting rid of their pain. So obviously, after so many years of working with this, I do get to a point where I know with some people we're going to have to start touching on the emotions. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and about using some techniques that can help you free emotions from your body. Now, we're not talking about cognitive therapy. We're not talking about necessarily EFT and tapping. We're talking about some neurological techniques that we can use to help shake tension and trauma from the body. So we don't even need to go into what the trauma was or talk about it or analyze it or anything. It's just techniques that we can use, physical techniques to help us bring things down. So that's going to be our last seminar in this series. So those of you that are here with me, thank you for being here. And if there's anything, you know, that comes up as you're talking about, you know, as you're going through the replay and you say, you know, that was really interesting, I'd like to know more, ask me, talk to me about it and we can go into it. But today was really about those 5 things, which we're just going to recap, that you can do to make your body feel better now and improve the environment that your body's got so that you can be healthier in your day-to-day life. So we talked about water, about the body being between 50 and 75% water, and that for every 23 kilos of body weight, you should be drinking 1 litre of water. So the average woman, if we're saying that, you know, we're talking 60 kilos plus, a minimum of 3 litres of water a day, minimum. So to do that, I want you to start thinking about how you can start to increase your water intake by 2 glasses of water a day over the next week. So each day you're going to drink 2 glasses more, 2 glasses more, 2 glasses more, so that you don't need to live next door to the toilet all of the time, okay? Look at your breathing. The breathing exercise that we did, if you go through the replay very quickly, you're going to breathe in for a count of 7, hold for a count of 4, and breathe out for a count of 7. And you're breathing into your belly. If you breathe like this, you need to reassess how you breathe and breathe into your belly. So that's our breathing. You're going to put the date sometimes in your phone, and you're going to remind yourself 5 times a day to breathe 5 breaths each time. Looking at your calm meditation, again, we spoke about just being in the moment, about it can be 10 paces that you take with a breath in each step, and look at your feet to focus on what you're doing. That's meditation. It doesn't have to be anything more complicated and that. Cleaning our food, so anything packaged, anything jarred, anything that comes in a tin, we're going to try and avoid. You want to just try and cut out the amount of additives and extra stuff you put in your body as best we can. And finally, the movements, which we just spoke about. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It was lovely to see. I can't see a video, Lisa. Is that because you're on an iPhone? And Catherine ran away. I know she's still there, but it's been fab. I've really enjoyed it. And hopefully those of you that watch the replay will get something out of this. And I'm going to stop recording now. There she is. Hey, I'll get you in a sec. I'm going to stop recording now. And if there's any questions, we'll have a quick chat now.